Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Sunny and today will be the first in a series of my healing diaries. I want to share my journey through healing from depression with you. It's a topic close to my heart and I hope that by sharing my story I can offer some encouragement to someone who might be going through something similar and also build a community so that we can help each other through our struggles. So today we'll be discussing a little bit about me, my backstory, seeking support and treatment options, self-care and healthy habits, and having patience and compassion for yourself and others. Depression is a complex and challenging experience. It's essential to remember that healing isn't linear and it's a process that's unique to each individual. And understanding that part of depression is crucial. It's more than just feeling sad. It can encompass a range of emotions, physical symptoms, and impact various aspects of life. And acknowledging its multifaceted nature is a significant step towards healing. So let's just rewind a bit. I've been suffering from depression for so long now that I don't even like to look back and trace where it all began. I will spare you the long sob story or save it for another video and just talk about the most recent years. I feel as though I haven't really been able to get a grip on my life since the pandemic. I was just conversing with a friend not too long ago about how I felt like my spirit thrived during quarantine. I was able to focus on my healing and I realized that much of my depression and anxiety came from societal pressures. In the bubble that I created during that time, I didn't have to conform to anything. So I just felt like my life blossomed and my depression did subside for a little bit. So let's fast forward a bit. I moved to Los Angeles in May of 2021, and I thought that would be good for me. But I soon found out that Los Angeles was not my vibe. My depression started to overwhelm me, especially after I moved alone. There were days when getting out of bed seemed like an impossible task. Simple things became monumental challenges, and I just lost interest in the things that used to bring me joy. I was working as a freelance artist, and I thought that would bring me joy, but again, I was wrong. The freedom was nice, but the inconsistency accompanied with the high cost of living in LA was just like a recipe for panic. My nervous system was completely shot to the point where I just started spending days, then weeks, then months just laying around self-medicating, and before I knew it, 2 years had gone past. So naturally, that became overwhelmingly boring and not to mention unsustainable. So I went and got a job at a really cool place. But then after a month or so, I found out that wasn't fulfilling for me either. And then a light bulb went off and I remembered how I always had a dream to be a flight attendant. But I just somehow got lost and forgot that was something that I was even pursuing. I got hired at an airline, and then after a few months of waiting, I finally started my training and started my new career. The first month was very exciting. New experiences, new people, new places, seeing new cities. And then it hit me again. An overwhelming wave of depression. It's like I just couldn't get from under it no matter what I accomplished. I was so upset and disheartened because this was something that I wanted for so long, and I thought that if I achieved it, then all of my problems would go away and I would just simply feel better about my life. I think this is the moment that I realized that nothing outside of myself was going to fix the problem because the problem was my depression. I always know this, but you forget. If you suffer from depression, you know what that's like. I just had to remind myself that happiness comes from within. And if I continued to seek outside myself for it, I would never find it. So here we are. I'm determined to heal my depression and anxiety and just stop being crippled by it. I'm starting this series to hold myself accountable, find community, and hopefully help someone else defeat their depression monster. I know that healing from depression is a journey that will most likely never be over, but I'm just looking for a little relief. So here's to staying consistent and, most importantly, showing up for myself. So I've been a flight attendant for about 6 months now, and that forced me to leave LA, but I am happier for it. I could not wait to get out of there. I spent a month in Orlando training, and then I lived in a crash pad with some flight attendant friends from training in the Fort Lauderdale, Miami area. And most recently, I switched bases and I now live in Atlanta, and I was finally able to get a space of my own. So I'm just really happy about that. And now that I'm in a place where I can work on my growth and healing, I'm just eager to get started. The first week of the new year has already been amazing. So I just want to share with you all some of the things that I'm doing to work towards my healing. Let's start with seeking support. Seeking support is pivotal. Whether from friends, family, or professionals, having a support system can really make the world of difference. Seriously, don't hesitate to reach out. It's a sign of strength, not weakness. I'm learning to lean more on my support system, and I find that the more that I open up and let them know what I'm going through, they're truly understanding and they want to know how they can be there for me. Most of my support comes from my friends who also deal with depression, and some of them who don't, but they're always willing to be an ear and offer me a new outlook on the situation. Depression can be so isolating, so it's up to you to realize that you're not alone, and there are people that care about you no matter your flaws. I know that sometimes it can be tough to believe, but a quick talk with a friend or a family member or even your therapist can help you remember all of the love that you're actually surrounded by. I know that everyone has a unique situation, and I do want to be sensitive to that. So if you can't rely on friends or family, I recommend finding a support group or a like-minded community that you can talk to, which is something that I hope to build for us here. Under that same umbrella of support is seeking professional help and treatment options. I have faltered and failed at this step many times before, but I'm determined to stick to my treatment plan this time. Therapists, counselors, psychiatrists, they can offer guidance tailored towards your needs. And there are also various treatment options from therapy to medication that can be incredibly beneficial. I started my journey by going to my primary care physician first, and she got me set up with a behavioral health nurse and a psychiatrist. I was prescribed medication, and my behavioral health nurse and I created a treatment plan that would help decrease my symptoms in about 6 months. This involved check-ins with her every 2 weeks, as well as goal setting for things that we wanted me to accomplish during those 6 months. One of those goals was to find a therapist. It wasn't easy, but reaching out to a therapist is one of the best decisions I've ever made. Honestly, I did have to search for a therapist that fit my specific needs, and I think that that's a really important step. It takes dedication and patience to find a really good fit. Luckily, there are resources and databases to help you find a therapist that's right for you. I used therapy for Black girls to find someone that accepted my insurance and would be able to understand my experiences. Having someone to talk to, someone who understood what I was going through and listened without judgment, has made the world of difference. Therapy isn't a quick fix though. It takes time and consistent effort. Learning coping mechanisms, understanding the roots of my feelings, and gradually implementing changes into my life will be all parts of the process. So start by consulting a therapist, psychologist, or psychiatrist. They can provide an accurate diagnosis and suggest a treatment plan like medication, therapy, or both, like what I'm doing. And consider different types of therapy like cognitive behavioral therapy or mindfulness-based cognitive therapy. These approaches can help reframe negative thoughts and develop coping strategies. Medication can often help alleviate some of those symptoms, but it's always important to follow your doctor's advice when using them. The next important step towards healing is self-care and healthy habits. Now, self-care isn't selfish, it is essential. Engaging in activities that bring joy and peace, like exercise, meditation, hobbies you enjoy, or simply taking time for yourself, can significantly have a positive impact on your mental health. Self-care has become my priority, but it's been difficult to stick to a routine, if I'm being honest. I've been doing my best to incorporate things like taking long walks, journaling, practicing mindfulness, things like that. However, most times my self-care simply looks like allowing myself to rest without guilt. I'm hoping that these small acts of self-compassion will eventually add up and help me to regain a sense of control. I eventually want to incorporate regular exercise, a balanced diet, and sufficient sleep into my routine. I did go to hot yoga this past Sunday, and I'm super proud of myself for that. Physical activity can positively impact your mood and overall well-being, and I never believed my doctor when they would say this. I would just think they're calling me lazy, but no, it definitely makes a difference. My behavioral health nurse encourages me to start small and set achievable goals for myself and celebrate even the smallest victories in order to maintain that momentum and motivation. It's also important to identify the things that trigger stress for you and work on minimizing their impact. Techniques such as time management, prioritization, and boundary setting, okay, can have a significant impact. Participate in hobbies or activities that bring you a sense of joy and accomplishment. Engaging in pleasurable activities can uplift your mood and distract you away from those negative thoughts. I am working really hard to get this part of my journey down, and sometimes I do falter because of work and life situations getting in the way. But that brings me to our final topic for this video: patience and compassion. I committed myself to creating this routine, and I noticed that during times when I would fall short, I would judge myself so harshly. In a way, this defeated the purpose of the work that I was trying to do. But in the moments of my sadness over my lack of willpower, I would just recall something that my grandmother always says to me. Whenever me and my father feel like we've hit a wall, she always says, it's never too late to hit the reset button. And I find it funny that it never occurred to me to implement this into my daily life. That the reset button doesn't always have to be some giant occurrence or a blank canvas. Now this has become a family mantra. We constantly say it to one another and just encourage each other to pick up where we left off. Take a breath, just gather yourself and try again. After all, tomorrow is a new day, nothing like yesterday, and with the potential to be better than the last. It's extremely important to just be patient with yourself because healing takes time and sometimes setbacks may occur. So just practice self-compassion through this journey. Healing from depression isn't a linear process. There's going to be good days and there's going to be bad days, and that's okay. Learning to accept the ups and downs, being kind to myself on my tough days, and celebrating even the smallest victories are things that I have to constantly remind myself of. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a friend, and also give that same patience and compassion to others because you never know what someone else may be going through. Remember that everyone's journey through depression is unique, and what works for one person may not work for another. Patience and persistence are crucial. And if you ever feel overwhelmed or have thoughts of self-harm, reach out to a professional or a trusted person immediately. You are not alone, and there are people who want to support you through this journey. It's okay to seek help, to take things one step at a time, and to believe that things will get better, because they will. Healing is possible, and you deserve happiness and peace. Thank you for joining me on this personal journey today. If you found this video helpful or you have your own story that you'd like to share, please feel free to leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Leave a like if you'd like. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.